Lord of the Flies is a 1954 debut novel of British author William Golding. The plot concerns a group of British boys who are stranded on an uninhabited island and their disastrous attempts to govern themselves. The novel's themes include morality, leadership, and the tension between civility and chaos. Hey, I wonder where I got that amazing description from. Guess I'm just a pure genius. I think anyways. Generation Alpha ranges from 2010, or 2011, or 2012. Hey, could someone just please get the cutoff line 1 year? I'm trying to do an intro here. As I was saying, it ranges from those years to 2025, where Gen Beta starts. Now, why did I mention Gen Alpha at all? I mean, it's pretty obvious at this point. What if the plot from Lord of the Flies and the kids of Generation Alpha were to mix? Because the boys were 12 years old max, they had easily classified as Gen Alpha right now if it weren't for that stupid cutoff line not being decided yet. So, how different would the plot even be in this scenario? How would the characters be rescued? Or would they even be rescued? Or we could look at this from a completely different perspective on the other hand. Kids are always kids, and kids from all generations act basically the same. Young independent minds trying to be wannabe rebels. And I'm not going to look at it that way. Hey, come on, I need to make this plot slightly different so I could call this video a project. But let's not waste any more time and answer the overarching question and take a not-so-deep dive into what would happen if the Lord of the Flies were to have kids from Generation Alpha. This will probably be the biggest chapter, due to the fact that the question is based on the characters, obviously. First of all, I don't really suspect Ralph to change that much. He'll always be that man in the middle, but he can't listen to anyone due to his 5-second attention span from listening to Reddit story TikToks. He is clinically suffering withdrawal of his iPhone 15 Pro Max that he was given after his old iPhone 14 was considered obsolete. He diagnosed himself with ADHD, and he's always in his own head because he can't listen to anybody else. Next, we have the changes of our favorite character and know-it-all, Piggy. Now, he's still smart as always, and he uses the times we're in to give him an unfair advantage over the others. Piggy says he's autistic to all the boys on the island. If he gets made fun of, he'll just write it down and post that quote from Twitter after, if they even survive, ultimately canceling them. He's also the boy with some survival knowledge because he actually touches grass and studies, unlike all the other boys who go on their Xbox Series X and play Fortnite while simultaneously playing Brawl Stars on their phone. Jack can't really change. He's impulsive as always, and it is still as strong as ever. He has no knowledge of survival, but he boasts about how many trophies he has in Clash Royale, so everybody respects him way more than Ralph, who is stuck in Arena 4. He is also the mastermind of all brain rot, as he memorized all brain rot terms and spits them out occasionally. This also increases his aura. Sorry for the interruption, but we need to educate the boomers on what aura means. Aura is someone's status points, and more aura means they are a cooler person, while less aura makes someone an outcast, basically. This was a brain rot term created in the year of 2024. Anyway, his aura will increase by the second, which will mind control the island to follow his orders more early on in the book. More on that later. Roger's also another one of Jack's mind-controlled butlers who will follow all of his orders. If he doesn't, Jack will take away all of his aura and banish him to the Little One room, where they're enjoying reciting Cocomelon and Brain Rot Marble Race live streams. And last of all the important characters, Simon. Simon's an interesting character, nonetheless, thanks to modern media in the world. He's a conspiracy theorist who strays away from mainstream news, which no matter what, shouldn't be trusted, and reads some story made by some wacko Redditor whose parents kicked him out of their basement by the age of 40. He conspires against everybody and everything, looking for the true meaning behind the monstrosity called our planet. This right here is a big turn in overall plot, which will be discussed right after these messages. Oh wait, I don't get sponsors. So right now. If you actually read the book, which I'm guessing a core of the class that I'm presenting to didn't, you would know that the beast was the main symbol in the plot that drove the kids wild. But in this reality, the beast would have never even existed because the little ones were too busy with their highly confidential cult activities to worship YouTube Shorts. They had no time for all this beast nonsense and were not the original thinkers of the beast. But you know who it was? Simon. He was pondering how the island was so creepy and unlike what he saw on his bedroom TV. He theorized that there was some higher entity out to get all the island, which makes everybody equally more scared after Jack believed him. Jack is as gullible as always, prompting the entire island to pure chaos. He seemed really confident at that time, so everybody followed Jack with pure loyalty except Ralph and Piggy, who stay in their smaller, elected leader tribe. The plot begins to thicken as the tribe with Jack gets more and more terrified but does not stray away from Jack, leading to their ultimate demise as the mass hysteria kills one by one of those people. First, Roger dies. After disagreeing with all the others, he was publicly executed under the Skibidi rule. Next, the little ones died one by malnourishment because Simon was scaring all the tribe and not hunting food. After that, Jack, unfortunately, passes away due to lack of survival knowledge, with Simon being the only man left alone in his inner thoughts as they devour his soul, and he becomes thinner and thinner than a twig, and he dies a slow, painful, miserable death. But at least Ralph and Piggy make it out okay. With nobody brainwashing him, one kept a single fire going, while the other gathered fruit, using Piggy's knowledge. With nobody making fun of him, he was respected. And only one day after all the others died, a boat came and rescued Ralph and Piggy. But at what cost? Well, that's a decent dive into the characters, though I would have explained it way more if I had the time to, edit more, and not doing this last minute. But to save my time and yours, this is a summary, was very short and concise, and hopefully you liked my interpretation. Though, this is only opinion-based, and all of it's pretty much exaggerated for more comedic effects to our generation. Though I could somewhat see this happening in a universe, though it's very unlikely. With that being said, this answers everything I've asked, but what if the Lord of the Flies kids were Generation Sigma? Coming to a theater near you in 2294. Peace.